Good morning, students. Today we will start with Chapter 5, India in the 18th Century, Part 1. Objectives. In today's session, we will learn about the causes for the decline of the Mughal Empire under the following headings: Aurangzeb's policies, weak successors, war of succession, court politics, military weakness, and last, foreign invasions. Let's start with the chapter. The history of India in the 18th century was mainly controlled by three factors. Among them, the first factor was the rapid disintegration of the Mughal Empire. Second factor was the rise of independent regional kingdoms. And the third factor was the establishment of British power in India. First, we will discuss about the causes for the decline of the Mughal Empire. Before starting discussion on causes for the decline, let's have a look on the growth of the Mughal Empire. In the given map, we can see that the portion marked with blue line was added to the Mughal Empire by its founder Babur. Then the yellow portion area was added to the Mughal Empire by Akbar, and the areas shown in orange color were added to the Mughal Empire further by Aurangzeb. This entire area was once under the Mughal Empire, but after the death of Aurangzeb, the decline of the mighty empire started. First cause for the decline of the Mughal Empire was Aurangzeb's policies. Aurangzeb's ideologies were different to that of Akbar's policy of diplomacy and religious tolerance. He lacked the political skills of his predecessors, means of his ancestors, though he was a great military leader. He reimposed jizya and pilgrimage tax on non-Muslims. Other than this, he replaced all the high officials of non-Muslim background from their post in the Mughal Empire. Aurangzeb's intolerant religious policies caused revolts in different parts of his empire. As a result, he had to face opposition from the Rajputs, the Marathas, the Jats and the Sikhs. He spent 25 years of his rule to suppress the Marathas in the Deccan. In this way, he depleted the military and financial resources of his empire by fighting wars one after the another. These military campaigns of him made his treasury empty, due to which he was not able to pay even his soldiers on time. Due to his long absence from Delhi during the Deccan Wars, his nobles and officials became powerful and they carved out independent kingdoms after the death of Aurangzeb. Another major cause of the decline of the Mughal Empire was the weak successors. The rulers who succeeded Aurangzeb were largely incompetent and lazy. They lacked motivation and commitment to rule the empire strongly. The Mughal rulers who succeeded Aurangzeb were known as the later Mughals. The later Mughal rulers were weak and they did not have any administrative skills which were needed to run such a big empire. Used to a luxurious lifestyle, they squandered away, or we can say spent wastefully, the money or wealth earned by their predecessors or ancestors. The luxurious lifestyle of the later Mughals led to financial crisis in the empire. Next cause for the decline of the Mughal Empire was the War of Succession. There was no clear law of succession to the Mughal throne, whereby the eldest son would be the next king by all rightful means. The death of one Mughal ruler often led to a bloody fight for the throne among all his sons. Like for example, at the death of Aurangzeb, there was a war of succession began among his three sons Bahadur Shah, Muhammad Azam and Kambaksh, that who will become the next king. Finally, Bahadur Shah won the war of succession, but he was already 65 years of age by the time he became the next Mughal emperor. Next cause for the decline of the Mughal Empire was the court politics. As I have already told you earlier, that most of the later Mughal rulers were weak and they did not have any administrative skills. So slowly and slowly, the nobles of the Mughal court became very powerful in the absence of a strong ruler. For almost all the decisions, these kings were dependent on the advice of their nobles and viziers. The weak Mughal rulers had no other option but to look upon the nobles and viziers for any advice, as the rulers were just like puppets in their hands. The rulers were mostly controlled by these nobles and were in no position to assert their authority or strengthen the crumbling or the declining Mughal Empire. Now, with this situation, the rulers had no powers in their hand, so obviously the rulers became helpless, which led to the downfall of the Mughal Empire. Now here is a list of important Mughal rulers from Aurangzeb to Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last Mughal emperor. First, Aurangzeb, he ruled from 1658 to 1707. Then he was succeeded by Azam Shah, who ruled for only for a few months in 1707. Then next was Bahadur Shah, who ruled from 1707 to 1712. Then the next Mughal ruler was Jahandar Shah, who ruled from 1712 to 1713. He was succeeded by Farrukh Shah, who ruled from 1713 to 1719. He was succeeded by Muhammad Shah from 1719 to 1748, and the last Mughal emperor was Bahadur Shah Zafar, who ruled from 1837 to 1857. Here, one important note is to be made that Bahadur Shah and Bahadur Shah Zafar, they are not same, they are two different rulers of the Mughal dynasty. Here, an important mention is to be made of Sayyid brothers. Sayyid brothers, they were the two most of the powerful nobles in the Mughal court in the 18th century, and they were called the kingmakers. Now here the question comes that why they were called the kingmakers? As I have already told you earlier that after the death of Aurangzeb, there was a war of succession among the sons of Aurangzeb. Finally, Bahadur Shah won the war of succession, but he was too incompetent to suppress the Marathas and the Rajputs. He was succeeded by Jahandar Shah in 1712 CE, and this was the time when Sayyid brothers, who were powerful nobles, became more powerful and came to be known as kingmakers. They removed Jahandar Shah from the throne and made Farrukh Shah the next emperor in 1713. In 1719, the Sayyid brothers killed Farrukh Shah and made Muhammad Shah the Mughal emperor. Muhammad Shah was succeeded by Ahmad Shah and Alamgir II, but the later Mughals were not capable as the great Mughals. They became puppets in the hands of their shrewd nobles. In this way, the nobles were playing a major role in king making, and hence they were known as kingmakers. Next cause for the decline of the Mughal Empire was the military weakness. The military part of the Mughal Empire rested on the two systems devised by the great Mughal Emperor Akbar, the Jagirdari system and the Mansabdari system. But the systems began to collapse under the negligence of the later Mughals. The Jagirdari and Mansabdari systems were military systems designed by Akbar. In these systems, soldiers of the Mughal army were not paid in cash but through grants of land, or we can say Jagir. A holder of a Jagir was known as a Jagirdar. They were assigned ranks, or in other terms we can say mansabs, according to their military capabilities, as also the number of horses and soldiers they were to maintain for the emperor. A soldier with a mansab was called a mansabdar. These two systems allowed the emperor to maintain a large army at very little cost. But under the later Mughals, the Mansabdars adopted corrupt practices. As a result, neither the Mughal navy nor their artillery was as strong as that of the foreign invaders. At the same time, no attempts were made to strengthen and reform the army. In such conditions, the Mughal army failed to withstand the attacks of the foreign invaders who took advantage of the weakness of the later Mughal rulers. Last cause for the decline of the Mughal Empire were the foreign invasions. The foreign invasions proved fatal for the already weak and politically unstable Mughal Empire. The first invader was Nadir Shah, who was the ruler of Persia. He invaded India in 1739 during the rule of the Mughal Emperor Muhammad Shah. When he went back, he carried away with him immense wealth, including the jewel-studded peacock throne of Shah Jahan and the Kohinoor diamond. The next foreign invader was Ahmad Shah Abdali, who was Nadir Shah's successor to the Persian Empire. He invaded India 5 times between 1748 and 1761. These repeated raids and invasions resulted in further weakening of the empire. He captured Punjab and defeated the Marathas in the Third Battle of Panipat 1761. Then came the European powers. With the coming of the different European powers, namely the Portuguese, the Dutch, the French and the British, the Mughal Empire came to an end. Why? Because of the superior military power used by these European powers. They also took advantage of the condition of internal confusion in India at that time to establish their hold over the country.